What's up, everyone, and welcome to the New York Knicks MyLeague in NBA 2K16. Today we are here for the recap video, and we are going to see in a second here, we're going to sim through our final game, which we lose to Boston, but it will give us #1 seed as the Charlotte Hornets also lost their last game. And after losing that game to Charlotte that you saw in the last episode, we really made a run at that top seed with 3 straight wins, mostly close games, and you'll see here in a second who the NBA's regular season award winners were. So Kevin Durant, for the 3rd time, as he also won it in the first season of this franchise, is NBA MVP. Ben Simmons, in a landslide, wins Rookie of the Year. Frank Kaminsky was the 6th man for the Charlotte Hornets. Anthony Davis won Defensive Player of the Year, an award that Hassan Whiteside was very heavily on. Derrick Rose, no words about this award. This was just a joke. And our own coach, Derek Fisher, was named the NBA's Coach of the Year, even though it was only a 3-win improvement on last season. I'm not going to narrate this part. I'm going to speed it up. This is going to be all the NBA, all first teams and all that stuff. I'm just going to speed this up and let the music run. I don't need to narrate the entire thing. And as you'll see here, the Knicks won their division as they did last year, 6 games ahead of the 76ers. And a lot of very disappointing teams this year, like the Raptors and the Celtics, who honestly could have finished with better records than they did. But the Nets and the 76ers were the big overachievers. The Bulls win the Central Division by a game over the Indiana Pacers, who made a big charge for it at the end. And there are going to be some surprise kind of playoff teams in this ranking, as you'll see when we go to the next division, the Southeast Division. And the Miami Heat actually finished in 3rd place, and they will miss the playoff, the defending NBA champions in Season 1 of this MyLeague, as the Charlotte Hornets and Atlanta Hawks are playoff teams out of that division. Now moving on to the West, the Pelicans and the Spurs actually tied for the best record in the Southwest. They will be the 2 playoff teams from that division. I don't believe that the Rockets made it, or any of the other teams. The Northwest, the Thunder and the Trailblazers both finished over 500, and I believe they made the playoffs. And then in the Pacific Division, there's actually going to be a surprise. The Phoenix Suns had a better season than the Golden State Warriors. The Los Angeles Clippers also finishing above 500. So we'll see what team in a second actually made the playoffs over with a 500 record. And you're going to see that we were the top of the Eastern Conference. That's the full ranking. So you can see we'd actually played the Cavaliers in the playoffs instead of the Nets that we could have played if we finished as the 2nd seed. And that actually might not be a good thing to be the top seed, because we have to go up against Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love. I don't know if that's exactly winning anything. Most of our success this season came from a very, very solid campaign by Carmelo Anthony, being one of the very few players in NBA history to average 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists over the course of a full season. Finishes the 9th leading scorer in the league. And we also had the top rebounder in the league, or the 2nd leading rebounder, excuse me, in Hassan Whiteside. And you can actually see per 36 minutes, we have a lot of very good talent that per 36 minutes did a lot. Melo actually averaged more points, finished 5th per 36 minutes. We had the 2 best rebounders per 36 minutes, with Hassan Whiteside and Bismack Biyombo pulling down a combined 31 rebounds per 36 minutes. A vast improvement over our rankings last season in that category. And as you'll see too, we had Patrick Beverley and Jerry Grant, who stepped into a starting role late in the season, as the 5th and 6th best assisters per 36 minutes. So I thought that a lot of these stats were very good. It shows that our bench is very deep in terms of rebounding and assisting. And also, Melo also had a very efficient season, finishing 10th in player efficiency rating in the league, and we'll see in a second how he ranked in efficiency-wise. He would be number 11. Now here we'll take a look at what our team leaders look like. Our team leaders in scoring were Melo with 22, Porzingis dropping 16 every night, and Avery Bradley, our only other double-digit guy, with 13. But Jerry Grant and Nick Young are top 2 bench guys with 9 apiece, respectively, and Hassan Whiteside with 8, and Beverly with 7, and Olynyk with also 7. So we had a very, very deep team this year, as we had 8 players who scored 7 or more points per game. Here, taking a look at the rebounding: 13 for Whiteside a game, and 9 for Porzingis, and then 8 for Biyombo, 7 for Anthony, and 5 for Perkins in his limited playing time. And our top ball distributor, Patrick Beverley, closely followed by Carmelo Anthony, who had a very, very solid season all around, and Jerry Grant, also very high up in that category, with 6 per game coming off the bench. And taking a look at our per 36 stats, you can actually see the Porzingis had almost MVP type numbers with nearly 20 points and 11 rebounds per game. An excellent season out of him if we had played him a little bit more in that slot. And as you saw before, top 2 rebounders in the NBA, but also Perkins and Porzingis. Now look at some team stats real quick. The Knicks had the 5th best offense in the NBA this season. And they were 7th in point differential despite going through rough stretches on defense after the losses of Beverly and Whiteside. And after finishing last in the league last year, the Knicks lead the league in rebounding this year. And they also finished top 10 in shot blocking this season with the addition of rim protectors Hassan Whiteside and Bismack Biyombo. They're also one of the best teams at getting to the basket, scoring the 7th most points in the paint in the league. And so that wraps up this stat recap. The next episode will be Game 1 of the Eastern Conference first round, where we will be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. You'll see some other interesting matchups here, such as the Pelicans versus the Warriors in the West, as well as the Spurs and OKC. The Clippers taking on Portland, who surprisingly made the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns taking on the Houston Rockets. That'll be a very interesting series without a doubt. The Pacers will be taking on the 76ers. That'll be interesting. The Hornets and the Nets. That might be a little lopsided right there. And the Hawks taking on the Chicago Bulls. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you after Christmas for the next episode.